Well, here we are with Christmas only a couple of weeks away, and I am sick. I've been sick all weekend, and I'm just not feeling on top of the world. But I want to take a little bit of time to talk to you guys today about something that I think we all could use a good reminder about, and that is giving gifts. This time of the year, we think of, holiday decorations, lights, Jesus, Santa, snow, cold, family, friends, parties. But it's the gifts that we really stumble over in many cases because we have to brave the stores. And in many cases, we can order from home, right? And that has made things exponentially better. But nevertheless, you still have to figure out what to get everybody. And you're never quite sure about sizes or taste or, the moods of the person, how they feel about you, and you want to make a good impression and you want to get the right thing. And so gifts can be very funny. They can be, it can pose a very interesting problem. It doesn't have to be. But I think what happens is we tend to lose the spirit of giving in the quandary of problems. And I just want to take a little bit of time to remind you and I about the proper way of giving, because there is a proper way of giving. If you question that, ask yourself, has anybody ever given you anything in which you thought to yourself, I could have done without that. I'd rather you just take that back, or I'd rather you just had not given me anything at all. Because I have, and it's just something that most people have experienced in some way or another with somebody, right? So let's think about that. You can make an impression on somebody and warp their perception of your character by the way you give if you don't give right. And that's just a fact. And so we need to remember the proper way to give. Now, where this is coming from is the ancient philosopher Lucius Seneca, my favorite philosopher, by the way. He once said, we should give as we would receive, cheerfully, quickly, and without hesitation. For there is no grace in a benefit that sticks to the fingers. So he mentions three things here that I want to just kind of unpack and talk about very briefly. He said we should give as we would receive, cheerfully. When you are picking out something for somebody, you want to give it from a heart that says that I'm just so happy. I'm just so happy to do this for you. I've received gifts from older relatives before where I could tell did not come from a cheerful heart. Maybe you have coworkers at a party. They gave gifts in this particular situation because it's an obligation or it was a game. It wasn't necessarily a cheerful heart. People need to know that you have given happily, not obligatory, and that it warms your heart as well as you hope it warms theirs. So remember to give cheerfully. And he says to give quickly, without hesitation. If you have any hesitation at all about giving something to somebody, if you've thought to yourself, man, this really costs a lot. I don't know if they're worth it. I don't know if I should do it. I mean, I kind of sunk myself with this. And first of all, that's not giving from a cheerful heart. So you can refer back to step number 1, but step number 2 is give without hesitation. Just be in the habit of giving quickly. Like act like you couldn't be happier to get this out of your hands and into their possession. And that needs to be something that is expressive. It's terrible getting something from somebody and you can't quite read them. And when you can't quite read their face or their body language, we tend to assume the negative, don't we? And I hope that you can really, ponder that and make it a point to not only give cheerfully, but to give quickly. And I think that'll make a huge difference. The fourth thing that Seneca mentions is that he said there is no grace in a benefit that sticks to the fingers. Now, I'm going to talk about grace here. Grace is unmerited favor. When you give a gift to someone, don't let it be because they deserve it, but do it because it's an outpouring of your very own character. It's your nature to give, whether they deserve it or not. In fact, a gift that is better than what someone deserves goes so much further. I say give while you can. Because we tend to hold grudges and we hold back, and we oftentimes will settle for a lesser gift, not give cheerfully, will hesitate in the giving, and it will be apparent. It doesn't necessarily mean you'll be talked about, but that person will harbor those feelings. They're reading it. They can tell. We can tell, can't we? We've been around family, friends, and they've given gifts, and we shouldn't ever give expectantly. We shouldn't expect something in return. We shouldn't expect a thank you. Just be happy to give quickly, showing a tender amount of grace. Think about that. Think about that today. When he says there is no benefit to a gift that sticks to the fingers, it made me think about Clark Griswold in National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation, when him and his wife are laying in bed and he's trying to turn the pages of the magazine that he's reading, but they're sticking to his fingers because the sap from the tree that he cut down was still on him, and he was just really fumbling with it, ripping the pages. And it kind of made me wonder after I read this if that was some kind of metaphor for his hesitation to give. I kind of doubt it, but maybe it just found its way in. This little philosophical moment just found its way into the movie. I bet you'll think of that now, next time you watch it. And if you're like me, you watch that movie over and over again. Let's remember what this video was all about. Give cheerfully, give quickly, without hesitation, and give graciously. All right, guys, listen. See the comment section, see the description down below, and take a gander at that. But more than anything else, I hope that you guys have a very Merry Christmas, be safe, and enjoy your holidays. I'll catch you in the next one. Bye-bye.